The silence before the storm. The deep space research vessel Horizon drifted silently through the obsidian expanse, its hull gleaming under the distant starlight. Commander Elena Rodriguez stood at the observation deck, her dark eyes scanning the endless void. Something felt different about this mission, a tension that had been building since they'd entered the uncharted sector of the Andromeda boundary. Incoming quantum disturbance, Lieutenant Marcus Wong called from the navigation console, his voice cutting through the ship's ambient hum. Readings are unusual. Elena turned, her military training instantly heightening her awareness. The Horizon wasn't a warship, but a cutting-edge research vessel designed to explore the farthest reaches of known space. Their mission, to study quantum anomalies and potential interstellar communication patterns. The ship's AI, ARIA, Advanced Responsive Intelligence Algorithm, flickered to life on the holographic display. Detecting multiple spatial disruptions. Pattern suggests non-natural origin. Before Elena could respond, a blinding flash of emerald light erupted outside the viewports. The ship shuddered violently, throwing crew members from their stations. Alarms screamed to life, a cacophony of electronic warnings that seemed to blend into a singular note of impending doom. Report. Elena shouted, gripping a support beam to steady herself. Marcus's fingers danced across his console, his face turning pale. We've been hit by some kind of quantum cascade. Multiple system failures occurring simultaneously. It's like, something is systematically shutting down our primary and secondary systems. Aria's usually calm voice now carried an edge of concern. Detecting alien technological interference. Current analysis suggests a targeted system dissolution protocol. Our defensive mechanisms are being neutralized at an exponential rate. Elena's mind raced. They were scientists, explorers, not soldiers. Yet something about this attack felt deliberate, calculated. The Horizon wasn't just under attack, it was being methodically dismantled. Dr. Elena Kapoor, the ship's lead quantum physicist, rushed onto the bridge. Her normally composed demeanor was replaced by a look of intense concentration. The quantum signature, it's like nothing I've ever seen. This isn't just an attack, it's a systematic deconstruction of our technological infrastructure. Can we fight back? Elena Rodriguez demanded. Dr. Kapoor's response was measured. Not conventionally. Whatever is attacking us understands our technology at a fundamental level. They're exploiting quantum entanglement principles we've only theorized about. The ship continued to shake, systems flickering in and out of existence. Emergency protocols engaged, but even those seemed to be failing faster than they could be implemented. We're losing power to critical systems, Marcus announced, his voice trembling. Life support is down to 62%. Propulsion systems are being systematically neutralized. Elena Rodriguez knew they had limited options. Surrender wasn't in her vocabulary, and running seemed impossible. Whatever was attacking them had already demonstrated a level of technological superiority that made traditional resistance futile. Aria, she called to the ship's AI, initiate emergency quantum encryption protocol. Transfer all critical research data to our quantum memory cores. If we're going down, we're taking our knowledge with us. Dr. Kapoor looked up, a spark of something, determination, perhaps even excitement, flickering in her eyes. Commander, what if we don't just defend? What if we analyze? The ship groaned around them, a metallic cry of resistance against an unseen enemy. Outside the viewport, strange geometric patterns of energy continued to dance, beautiful and terrifying simultaneously. We're scientists, Dr. Kapoor continued, and this is the most advanced technological assault in human history. Every moment of this attack is providing us unprecedented data. Marcus interrupted, quantum entanglement matrices are being systematically destabilized. We have maybe 30 minutes before complete system collapse. Elena Rodriguez understood then that this was more than an attack. It was a test. Whoever, or whatever, was dismantling their ship was studying human technological responses, probing for weaknesses. Little did they know, humans were exceptionally good at turning adversity into opportunity. Dr. Kapoor, Elena said, a dangerous smile forming, start collecting every single piece of data. Marcus, reroute all remaining power to our quantum analysis systems. If they want to study us, we'll give them something to study. The horizon might be dying, but its death would become humanity's greatest lesson. And lessons, as humanity had proven time and again, were rarely forgotten. The ship continued to shake, systems continued to fail, but something new was emerging, not just resistance, but transformation. The quantum crucible. The emergency quantum memory cores pulsed with an otherworldly blue light, the last vestige of hope aboard the dying horizon. Dr. Elena Kapoor's fingers moved with surgical precision, capturing every nanosecond of the alien attack's data stream. Quantum signature is fractal, she muttered, more to herself than to anyone else. It's not just a weapon, it's a living algorithm. Commander Elena Rodriguez watched as the ship continued to disintegrate around them. Emergency force fields flickered, holding back the vacuum of space by sheer technological willpower. Marcus Wong had long since abandoned his navigation console, now working alongside Dr. Kapoor, transforming their potential tomb into a living laboratory. We're collecting more than data, Marcus observed, his eyes reflecting the cascading quantum patterns. We're capturing the fundamental language of their technology. Arya, the ship's AI, interrupted. Structural integrity at 12%. Quantum entanglement matrices are approaching critical dissolution point. The AI's voice remained calm, a stark contrast to the chaos surrounding them. Dr. Kapoor's eyes suddenly widened. Look! She pointed to a complex holographic display showing the alien attack's progression. They're not just destroying us. They're studying us. Each system failure is a carefully measured response. Commander Rodriguez understood immediately. They're treating us like an experiment. A disposable test subject. The ship shuddered again. Emergency lights cast long shadows across the bridge, making the remaining crew look like ghosts of their former selves. But there was something else in their eyes, not fear, but a growing determination. Arya, Elena commanded, begin quantum pattern reconstruction. Whatever data we're losing, I want it rebuilt, analyzed, understood. The AI's response was instantaneous. Holographic displays erupted around them, showing increasingly complex mathematical models. The alien attack, once a destructive force, was now being transformed into a blueprint of understanding. Dr. Kapoor worked feverishly. The quantum cascade they're using, it's brilliant. But it has a fatal flaw. It assumes a rigid technological framework. It doesn't account for human unpredictability. Marcus chimed in, our systems aren't just failing. They're evolving. Watch. Indeed, as system after system collapsed, something strange happened. Instead of complete destruction, fragments of technology began to reorganize themselves. It was as if the ship itself was learning, adapting to the alien assault. They designed this attack to be precise, Elena Kapoor explained, which means it's also predictable. And anything predictable can be manipulated. The horizon was no longer just a ship. It had become a quantum crucible, transforming destruction into knowledge. 10 minutes to total system collapse, Arya announced. Commander Rodriguez turned to her team. We're not just collecting data anymore. We're going to turn their weapon against them. Marcus looked up from his console, a wild idea forming. What if we could use their quantum cascade as a communication vector? Not just understanding their technology, but potentially communicating back. Dr. Kapoor's eyes lit up. A technological jujitsu. Using the very force meant to destroy us as a means of counterattack. The ship continued to break apart, but now it felt less like death and more like a transformation. Emergency systems that should have failed long ago continued to function, powered by a hybrid of human ingenuity and the alien technology attempting to destroy them. 5 minutes to total collapse, Arya reported. Prepare quantum communication protocol, Elena Rodriguez commanded. If we're going down, we're sending a message. The alien attackers had made a fundamental mistake. They saw humans as a linear, predictable species. They didn't understand that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in preservation, but in adaptation. As the Horizon approached its final moments, it was no longer just a ship. It had become a weapon. A message. A promise. Humanity was about to speak back. The quantum echo. The moment stretched into infinity, or perhaps it was just milliseconds. The Horizon, now more a quantum experiment than a ship, hung suspended between destruction and transformation. Quantum communication protocol activated, Arya announced, its voice carrying an almost imperceptible hint of excitement. Dr. Elena Kapoor gripped her console, watching as the ship's remaining systems began to pulse with an unexpected rhythm. The alien attack, designed to be a precise instrument of annihilation, was becoming something entirely different. Commander Elena Rodriguez felt it first, a subtle vibration that seemed to originate not from the ship's failing systems, but from something deeper. Quantum entanglement wasn't just a scientific principle anymore. It was becoming a weapon. Marcus, are you seeing this? Dr. Kapoor called out, her voice a mix of scientific wonder and barely contained excitement. Marcus Wong's hands flew across his console, capturing data that defied conventional understanding. It's like the ship is talking back. Not just responding, but communicating in a language we're just beginning to understand. The geometric energy patterns outside the viewport began to shift. What had been a destructive cascade now resembled a complex conversation, mathematical equations dancing in the void of space, creating patterns that seemed to pulse with intelligence. They wanted to study us, Commander Rodriguez muttered, but they didn't realize we'd study them right back. Arya's holographic representation flickered, showing increasingly complex quantum models. Analyzing. The alien technological assault contains embedded communication protocols. They were not just attempting to destroy us, they were gathering information. Dr. Kapoor leaned closer to the display. It's a probe. Not just a weapon, but a method of gathering intelligence about human technological capabilities. The ship continued to break apart, but now with a sense of purpose. Emergency systems that should have failed were now routing power in patterns that seemed almost organic. The Horizon was no longer just responding to the attack, it was learning from it. Quantum communication reaching critical resonance, Arya reported. We are no longer simply receiving. We are transmitting. Marcus looked up, his face a mixture of terror and exhilaration. We're sending back more than just data. We're sending back our entire technological understanding, compressed into a quantum signal that they'll never expect. The alien attackers had made a fundamental miscalculation. They saw humans as a linear, predictable species confined to traditional technological development. They didn't understand that humanity's greatest strength was its ability to turn limitation into opportunity. Commander Rodriguez understood something profound in that moment. This wasn't just about survival. This was about making a statement to whoever, or whatever, was attacking them. Arya, she commanded, compile our entire technological database. Everything we've learned, everything we've discovered. Compress it into the quantum communication stream. Dr. Kapoor caught on immediately. We're not just defending. We're revealing. Showing them exactly what humans are capable of. The ship's remaining systems began to pulse with an almost musical quality. Mathematical equations transformed into something more, a message, a challenge, a declaration of human potential. Outside, the geometric energy patterns began to change. What had been a precise, destructive force now seemed confused. Hesitant. Quantum communication stream stabilizing, Arya announced. Transmission successful. Marcus Wong let out a breathless laugh. They wanted to destroy us. Instead, we just gave them a quantum-compressed lesson in human innovation. The horizon was dying. But in its final moments, it was becoming something else entirely, a beacon, a warning, and a promise. Humanity had just spoken to the universe. And the universe was about to listen. The ship continued its slow dissolution, but now it felt less like destruction and more like a transformation. Each failing system was a brushstroke in a larger picture, a testament to human resilience, adaptability, and an unquenchable desire to understand. Commander Rodriguez watched the viewport, a subtle smile forming. They had turned certain annihilation into an unprecedented opportunity for communication. The quantum echo of human potential rang out across the darkness of space. Light years away, in the heart of the Galactic Coordination Center, the first quantum ripple from the horizon's transmission arrived. The massive holographic display flickered, then erupted with patterns of complexity that defied comprehension. Zarek, the lead xenotechnological analyst of the Stellar Consortium, felt something he hadn't experienced in centuries: uncertainty. The quantum transmission didn't just carry information. It carried a challenge. "Impossible," whispered Lyra, his secondary analyst, her multifaceted eyes reflecting the cascading data patterns. No species should be able to encode information at this level of complexity. The transmission was unlike anything in their records. Where they expected a simple signal of destruction, confirmation of a routine technological elimination, they found instead a living, breathing tapestry of scientific knowledge. It was as if the humans hadn't just received their attack, but had transformed it into something entirely new. "Analyze the quantum signature," Zarek commanded, his tentacle-like appendages moving across the control interface. The data stream defied their most advanced decryption algorithms. Each attempt to parse the information revealed new layers of complexity. Mathematical models that should have been linear became multidimensional. Technological concepts that seemed primitive suddenly demonstrated an adaptive potential that was terrifyingly brilliant. On the distant monitoring station, alarms began to sound. The quantum transmission wasn't just information, it was evolving. "They're using our own communication protocol against us," Lyra realized, her voice a mixture of professional analysis and genuine awe. "The humans aren't just responding. They're learning, adapting in real time." Zarek had overseen hundreds of technological elimination protocols. The Stellar Consortium prided itself on identifying and neutralizing potential technological threats before they could emerge. Emerging species were categorized, assessed, and, when necessary, carefully controlled. Humans were supposed to be a preliminary technological species. Promising, but ultimately containable. This transmission suggested something entirely different. "Run a full spectral analysis," Zarek ordered. "I want to know how they managed to compress this level of information into a quantum transmission." The holographic display began to reconstruct fragments of human technological understanding. Quantum computing principles that the consortium had deemed theoretical were here, not just proven, but expanded upon. Technological adaptation models that suggested a level of innovative thinking completely foreign to their own methodical approach. Lyra's voice carried a note of professional concern. "The transmission is still active. It's not just sending information. It's establishing a communication pathway." Zarek understood the implications immediately. This was no longer about elimination. This was first contact, but not on their terms. "They turned our weapon into a communication device," he muttered, a grudging respect entering his tone. "They didn't just survive. They transformed the very nature of the attack." The quantum transmission continued to pulse, each wave carrying more information. Technological models, scientific principles, adaptive algorithms, all compressed into a signal that was simultaneously a message, a warning, and an invitation. Humans weren't just surviving. They were rewriting the rules of technological engagement. In the Stellar Consortium's most secure communication chamber, something unprecedented was happening. A species they had deemed a potential threat was revealing itself to be something far more complex, far more dangerous. And they were just getting started. The quantum ripple continued to expand, carrying with it the first whispers of a new era of galactic understanding. The humans hadn't just survived. They had transformed destruction into an opportunity for communication. The universe was about to get very interesting. 12 standard galactic cycles after the Horizon's quantum transmission, everything changed. The research station Nexus 7, positioned at the edge of human-explored space, hummed with an energy that was equal parts anticipation and preparation. Commander Victoria Reyes stood before a holographic display that mapped the expanding quantum communication network, a technology that had emerged directly from the Horizon's final transmission. "They're coming," Dr. David Okoro said, not as a statement of fear, but of absolute certainty. The quantum physicist's eyes gleamed with a mixture of scientific excitement and strategic calculation. Victoria nodded. The Stellar Consortium's initial attack had been meant to eliminate humanity as a potential technological threat. Instead, they had awakened something far more dangerous, a species capable of turning destruction into opportunity. The quantum communication network was unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. It wasn't just a method of transmitting information, it was a living, adaptive system that learned and evolved with each transmission. Fragments of the Horizon's final message had spread like a technological wildfire, transforming human understanding of quantum mechanics, communication, and interstellar technology. Incoming quantum signature, ARIA-2, the station's advanced AI, announced. Stellar Consortium communication protocol detected. The holographic display flickered, revealing a transmission from the very beings who had attempted to destroy the Horizon. But this was no longer a one-sided conversation. Zarek's familiar multifaceted form appeared, looking significantly less composed than during their previous encounters. "Humanity," the alien began, "your unauthorized technological expansion violates consortium protocols." Victoria stepped forward, her stance relaxed but her eyes sharp. "We're not asking for permission." Dr. Okoro manipulated the holographic display, revealing a series of technological breakthroughs that had emerged directly from the Horizon's quantum transmission. Quantum computing models that redefined computational possibilities. Communication protocols that could transmit information faster than light. Adaptive technological systems that could learn and evolve in real time. "You tried to eliminate us," Victoria said, her voice calm and measured. "Instead, you've given us the greatest technological leap in human history." The quantum communication network pulsed around them, a living testament to human innovation. Each transmission carried not just information, but potential. The very attempt to destroy humanity had become the catalyst for their most significant technological revolution. Zarek's communication became more agitated. The consortium cannot allow an unchecked technological species to allow. Dr. Okoro interrupted, a rare smile crossing his face. "We're not asking for allowance. We're declaring our presence." The station around them was more than just a research facility. It was a quantum forge, a place where the technological principles discovered in the Horizon's final moments were being expanded, tested, refined. Humanity was no longer just responding to threats. They were creating entirely new paradigms of technological understanding. "Your elimination protocol," Victoria explained, "has provided us with technological insights that will reshape galactic communication. Each attempt to control us has only made us stronger." The quantum display began to shift, showing multiple simultaneous communication pathways. Not just between human stations, but extending outward, creating a network that was adaptive, dynamic, and utterly unpredictable. Zarek's form seemed to flicker, a clear sign of technological distress. "This violates everything you thought was possible," Victoria completed the sentence. "That's the point." The Nexus 7 station was more than a research facility. It was a declaration. Humanity wasn't just surviving. They were transforming the very rules of technological engagement. Dr. Okoro looked at Victoria, a spark of something between scientific wonder and strategic triumph in his eyes. They wanted to eliminate a potential threat. Instead, they've created something far more dangerous. Victoria nodded. The quantum communication network pulsed around them, a living, breathing testament to human resilience, innovation, and an unquenchable desire to push beyond known limitations. The galactic core trembled. Not with physical vibration, but with a quantum resonance that defied conventional understanding. What had begun as a simple elimination protocol against a seemingly primitive species had transformed into something far more profound. The quantum nexus, humanity's revolutionary communication network, now stretched across multiple star systems, a living, breathing testament to innovation born from near destruction. Commander Victoria Reyes stood aboard the Celestial Forge, humanity's most advanced quantum research vessel. Around her, holographic displays showed the network's expansion, a complex web of communication that was part technology, part living intelligence. Final quantum integration commencing, announced Aria, 2, the advanced AI that had evolved from the original transmission of the Horizon. Dr. David Okoro worked alongside her, his fingers dancing across quantum interfaces that seemed to anticipate his thoughts. They never understood, he muttered, that limitation is just another word for opportunity. The Stellar Consortium's communication channels had gone silent weeks ago. Their last transmissions were a mixture of panic, confusion, and grudging respect. Humanity had done the impossible, they had turned a weapon of destruction into a network of unprecedented communication and technological growth. Victoria remembered the initial attack. The Horizon's near destruction. The quantum transmission that had changed everything. What the consortium saw as a threat, humanity had transformed into a revolution. Quantum resonance at 97%, Aria, 2 reported. Galactic communication protocols being rewritten. The displays around them showed more than just data. They showed a new understanding of communication, of technology, of possibility itself. Each quantum node was a living entity, learning, adapting, growing. It was quintessentially human, unpredictable, innovative, refusing to be constrained. Dr. Okoro looked up, a rare smile crossing his face. We're not just communicating anymore. We're rewriting the fundamental rules of interaction. The Celestial Forge was more than a ship. It was a statement. A declaration that humanity would not be confined, would not be controlled. The very attempt to eliminate them had become the catalyst for their greatest leap forward. Zarek's final transmission echoed in Victoria's memory, "You cannot continue this unauthorized technological expansion." Her response had been simple, "Watch us." The quantum network pulsed, each transmission carrying not just information, but potential. Technological insights that had been compressed in the Horizon's final moments were now flowering across multiple star systems. Adaptive communication protocols. Quantum computing models that redefined what was possible. Technological systems that learned and evolved in real time. Quantum integration complete, Aria, 2 announced. The holographic display erupted with a cascade of colors and patterns, a visual representation of a communication network that was alive, dynamic, utterly unique. The Stellar Consortium's rigid, controlled approach to technological development had been replaced by something far more powerful. Human potential. Dr. Okoro approached the main quantum interface. "We didn't just survive," he said, more to himself than anyone else. "We transformed." Victoria watched the display, understanding the profound nature of their achievement. The Horizon's destruction had been intended as an end. Instead, it became a beginning. "Prepare for first multi-system quantum transmission," she commanded. The universe held its breath. Humanity was about to speak.